What's up? I'm Devon Walker, and this is My Favorite Lyrics. It's the podcast where we come and we talk to some of our favorite artists, performers, all your favorite people, and we talk about the lyrics that make them laugh and cry and everything in between. This is one of our very first episodes, one of the very first ones we ever did, and to do that, there was kind of only one person that I could think of. That person, you might know him. He's written for shows like Saturday Night Live. He's written for, this show, that show, The Rundown with Robin Thede on BET. People don't, you know what I'm saying? The Rundown. He also, you might know him as my former roommate. His name's Alex English. Welcome to the show, Alex.
I don't think.
What's that?
That if you go to my IMDb, that you'll see this show, that show.
But you have written for this show and that show. You know what I'm saying? The National Lampoon Radio Hour. You also might have seen him on.
Saw that.
You might have seen him on Pause with Sam J.
Sure.
Yeah. What's another program you might have seen him on?
That Damn Michael Che.
High Maintenance.
High Maintenance.
Alex and I were actually, people don't know this, but we were actually up for the same part on High Maintenance. We both auditioned at the same time. And
they were like,
and they said absolutely not.
Not gay enough on Devon's end.
And I tried. And trust me when I say I was trying to lay it on thick. It was not a gay part at all.
You trying to take gay roles from gay people?
I'll take any job. I just would like to work.
On episode 1, his first 5 minutes of podcasting, he comes out as someone who doesn't want gay people to have
No.
in Hollywood.
That's not what I said. If anything, don't clip that. We're not clipping that. Because that's not really what I said.
Okay. What did you say?
What actually I am saying is that I'm just a black man just trying to get by in this world.
Oh, okay. So we're doing that.
Am I not?
So this podcast is different than what I was told. So now we're talking about this.
We'll get around to that. This is the opening section where we check in.
Oh,
this is us checking in.
I feel like you're creating a segment.
What do you think the segment will
check in?
Yes, we're checking in. That's the original.
I don't know if that was on the outline.
Well, don't worry about what's on the outline, man. You don't look at the outline. That's not your business. You hang out over there. I ask you questions. Okay. Dude, hello, Alex. Welcome to the show.
Devin.
Hello.
Yeah.
Would you be mad if I played a gay role? Would you not like that? How would that make you feel?
I mean, if it was something that I auditioned for.
And so as long as it's not,
I would be mad at you because I'd be like, you would have to forfeit that to me.
What if
that's my expectation?
What if it was? And I just want to be clear.
I would like virtue.
I just want to be clear. I would not do that. I would not do that. If me and Alex were up for the same job and I got it, I would not be giving
unethical.
it to him. Well, it's also not my. It's not my job to give. Also, it's like I need money, please.
You're fine. You're fine. You already have a logo.
Huh?
You already have a logo.
Yeah, you better believe it.
So you're fine.
If you're listening at home, you can't see it, but I'm putting the logo up in the camera. I do have a logo.
There's already a budget.
Shout out to the people at Disco Nap Productions. They helped me out with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, welcome to the show. How you been?
Pretty good.
Do you want to tell the people how we know each other? Because a lot of people who are going to listen to this will already know, but like for the people who are unaware, do you want to
how we know each other or how we met?
Either. Whichever story you feel like telling.
Well, because I'd been already living in New York. You showed up in like 2018.
I did show up in 2018. He remembers. He's trying to act like he didn't remember. It was a pivotal moment in his life. He remembers it because of the friendship.
I mean,
he's trying to act like he doesn't remember. He knows exactly when he met me.
I was like,
because it's a moment that stands out to him in his life.
This another nigga with dreams moving into the big city. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Put that on my tombstone. Another nigga with dreams. Please put that on my tombstone.
And you were doing a show at the Creek that I was hosting.
Yes.
And
that's true.
I looked at your name on the lineup. I didn't know you. I was like, okay, I think this is the guy. And I go up to you and I'm like, how do you pronounce your first name? Is it Devon or Devon? And you said Devon.
I sure did.
You made sure I knew
my name.
And the minute I got on stage, I said, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Devon Walker.
Quickly. He said it really fast, and he said it fast, and he said it confidently.
Yeah.
He said it like he's been saying it his whole life.
I only knew him for like 5 minutes. So I was like, it really does, he's gonna move back to wherever he's from, but it didn't happen, and then we became friends.
That's crazy. I became friends with you despite the fact you're not a listener. You don't be listening.
Okay, Devon. Like I don't know what you want me to do with that.
That is, that's the first time that we met. That's the very first time that we met.
Yeah, and then we started hanging out more.
We started a show together.
We
ran a stand-up show together with our buddy Gary. And our show was called Dad. The show really all came together on kind of like one special night. Do you want to recount to the people like how the show came together, our stand-up show, Dad?
the conversation that was had or the thing that happened?
You know what? We'll go into the conversation that was had really quickly, and then we can.
The conversation we were having were if we all wanted to become fathers in the future.
That's true.
And then after that, shortly after that, we were discussing the possibility of starting a show together. And when we agreed on doing a show together, what the decision of what to name it really kind of came at just like, oh, why don't we just call it Dad since we all want to be dads?
That's true.
Day.
That's true.
So, and like the irony in like 3 men with no kids with a show called Dad. There's really no reason for it at all.
No.
But it was good. The context of the creation, that was where it came from. Two things happening.
We'll all probably do it at some point. Who do you think will be the first one?
Definitely Gary.
Yeah, I feel like he's the closest to it. He's also, he's the most settled. He like lives with his significant other.
Yeah.
I feel like it's,
I'm certainly going to be last just because there's just more paperwork on my end.
It's a lot of stuff.
I feel like if you got to do a lot of paperwork to get a kid, you're not going to be quick to have kids.
You got to go to the Dominican Republic and you got to talk to,
Why I got to go to Dominican Republic?
I don't, that's where, I just feel like you would adopt a kid there.
Okay.
Where would you get, where would you get
American-born children? Also, adoption isn't the only option for gay couples.
Well, sure. I think I was just assuming that maybe that was the method that you would have been taking.
What the hell is this? You don't think I want somebody that looks like me?
And so what? Okay. All right. Well then, Alex, why don't you go ahead and tell the people
about your dreams?
Huh?
Why don't you adopt?
I might.
You might.
I might.
For what reason?
I might. I don't know.
You can procreate.
I don't know.
I mean, there's plenty of children out there. I'm not anti-adoption. But he's anti-American adoption. He's like, go to the Dominican Republic.
What
there are plenty of Dominican. Yeah, there are plenty of children in the States.
There's kids everywhere that you could adopt.
But you specifically said Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I guess.
So you have some sort of like weird Dominican Republic adoption fetish going on. Like,
no, that's not. It's not that. Shout out to anybody.
I'm just going off what you said.
Shout out to anybody who's in the Dominican Republic. You guys seem awesome. I've never been down there, but y'all seem.
And if you need a parent, apparently he's gonna be the first person to sign up.
Sorry. It's
on the record.
Sorry if a kid in you know what I'm saying. I'd do it. Why not?
All right.
Do you want to tell them about kind of the finale of that night, the night that we met when we were doing our show together?
I want to hear it from you. Well, I feel like I told the story enough.
I'll start the story. And again, this is a story we've told before, but it just feels good to get. We should probably get it on wax.
The floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, all is to say, there was a young gentleman that night who.
Oh my God, a gay guy walked into the bar.
I don't even see. I don't see
a young gentleman. He's gay. Go ahead.
I don't see people that way. I just see spirits and positivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, you being gay doesn't even mean anything. All I know is I love you.
It means nothing.
All I know is I love you, brother. Love you.
Continue with the story. Oh my God.
There was a young gentleman, a gay gentleman, perhaps, according to you.
No, according to nature and good eyesight.
I don't know. He could have just
and ears that can hear.
He could have just been wearing a fun coat. That doesn't mean gay. That doesn't mean gay to me just because he had a crushed velvet coat.
That's exactly what he was wearing.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
But go ahead. You seem to remember these details quite well. Yeah.
I'll never forget that coat. It was it was miraculous. And he also was wearing tiny, tiny little glasses. You remember? He had those little tiny glasses on, like Neo in the Matrix. And yeah, he was a man who took an interest in you, Gary, and I.
That's not the order it was, though.
Yeah. So basically, the way that it played out was that he kind of pulled up on Gary immediately, and kind of was sort of like, "Hey, well, like."
And you were in the restroom at this point.
I was in the restroom, so it does sound like you do remember this, but
I never said I didn't remember it. I'm just hearing it from you because you were in the restroom. So when you came, okay, because it makes this him being in the restroom is important to the story.
Now, that's something I don't remember, but I guess we'll get back around to that.
You're not telling the story.
Well,
good.
Why don't you go ahead and say, okay, see? You wanted to. You could have told the story the whole time.
Basically, this gay motherfucker with tiny glasses and a fucking crushed velvet jacket.
Hey, crushed velvet man, if you're listening to this, I don't remember you being this gay motherfucker. You're not that to me.
This motherfucker
You're a beautiful person. You got a good heart.
Devon's in the bathroom. That's Gary and I are sitting.
Yep.
We're talking. He just comes up uninvited, just walks up to the bar, is laying it on thick with Gary. trying to get in Gary's drawers. Let's just say he's pulling up on Gary.
It's a good way to describe it.
And Gary's he's not one of those guys that's gonna swing on a nigga for flirting with him. He's gonna take the compliment and politely shut it down. Devon, at this point of him coming at Gary, he's back at the table. So he's like, oh, okay, well, next. Moves over to Devon and starts laying it on with him.
Mm-hmm. He does.
So Devon politely shuts it down.
Yeah, because I'm a good guy in that kind of way as well. Tell him that. Tell the people that.
He's from Texas. He's been not homophobic for 2 years now. He just learned how to not be.
And it's been a good 2 years. It's been a good 2 years, and I've learned a lot.
So he's flirting with Devon. Yes. Devon shuts it down.
Yeah. Politely.
At that point, you would think just leave the table, right? Just leave the table.
He doesn't do that.
Then he's like, basically like, oh, okay, well, you'll do.
Well, no. Because what happens is this man, he was flirting with me and Gary. Me and Gary were kind of just like playing it off, like not really like engaging with it. And then at some point he mentions like, because this is Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve 2018. And he was like, oh, I'm going to like a Christmas party. It's going to be me and like a bunch of models, like a bunch of like lady models, and we're all going to hang out. And at that point, Gary and I's ears perk up. We said, you're going to be hanging out with who? We said, and I think in that moment, he was sort of like, I've chosen kind of the wrong people to be interested in.
But here's my thing.
At which point, when he was
I'm the gay one.
Yes.
So get away from them. But also, that's number one. Number two, he was in the bathroom, so he'd already seen me and like was on his way out with Gary. And still was like, oh, I'll at least wait I see a third glass sitting here, so maybe the other one will be better than this one. Mm-hmm. And for him, it was. He was like, oh, smart move on my decision making to like wait for the second guy to come out because I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like. But it's like, bitch, leave. Mm-hmm. Like, get away from us. Like, this is insulting. I'm not your scraps. I'm not the last. You don't want, like, being last.
You were last.
That was an insult.
You were last that day.
I took great offense.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And then he's talking about parties with bitch, we're not going nowhere with you. Go to that party.
I would have gone to the party.
You would have left me.
No, we would all gone together.
I wasn't going to that shit.
We would all gone together. You know what I'm saying? Me and Gary could have hung out with the models, and maybe you and him could have gotten to know each other a little better.
I was
you know what I'm saying?
Thoroughly uninterested at that point. I'm like, why would I?
But it's like, But it's like, were you interested when he pulled up at first?
No.
Okay.
But you don't get to be not interested in me before I can
say
that I'm not interested in you.
That's what I feel like this is about. That's what I feel like it's about. I feel like if you just would have seen the crushed velvet coat, you would have been like, this could be somebody.
No, I didn't want any. I wouldn't have wanted any parts in any context. Okay. Let's just make it that.
Okay. This is also, we'll get into the meat of the podcast in a second, but I will say that this also just sort of points to a thing that has also come up in our relationship, was like when Alex and I are around gay men and a gay man shows interest in me, Alex really hates it. He hates it a lot
because there's no point in it,
and he does his absolute best to sort of thwart whatever situation.
There's no point.
No,
you're playing with them.
One time
because you're not gonna do anything with them.
Okay, but maybe I just like to meet people. What about that? What if I just want to meet a new person?
Meeting someone, being kind to someone and talking to someone is different than giving them the impression that there's ever gonna be any sort of physical anything. I'm not telling anybody. Especially in my presence. It's just like, what are you doing?
One time me and Alex
what are you doing?
One time me and Alex did some shows together in Philadelphia. We were in Philly, and Alex was like, all right, I want to go to this gay bar. Let's go over there. They got like a gay neighborhood in Philadelphia. We go over there. We go to the stretch of bars, and Alex is doing his thing. He's over here. This is a few years ago. Alex is doing his thing. He's talking to people. He's flitting around talking about, oh, this guy looks good, da-da-da-da. I'm by myself. He leaves me. I'm standing over there by myself, and a man comes up to me. A nice older gentleman. Mm-hmm. He comes up to me. He's chatting me up. He's telling me about, he had multiple houses. And he's over here talking about, you should come check out one of my houses. Alex comes in immediately and goes, he's straight.
Yeah.
He's straight.
Why the fuck are you
invited? He's straight.
No,
you don't need to. I could have had a place to go in Virginia on the weekends, Alex. I could have been in Virginia on the weekends. Yeah. And instead I'm just in my cramped apartment in New York City. That's crazy.
There was no point in that conversation.
Yeah, but
y'all didn't need to know each other.
That's crazy. Alex hates
what do you think?
Alex,
you thought you was gonna be alone in that house? You thought you weren't gonna have a key?
We could have been together. together. Maybe he likes to play 2K as well. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think me and him could be in there on the game, both playing rival teams? He's the older guy, so he probably likes to play with the teams from before. He playing with the 90s Knicks. I'm playing with the Bulls, and we're maybe recounting a moment that's pretty nice. How about that? You didn't think about that, did you? No, you didn't think
no,
we could have that.
That would never happen.
Because you're just thinking about sex. This man was about to show me a nice time, and now
not in the way you think. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, well. Anyway, Alex, we're here to talk about music. Let's get into it. What have you been listening to lately? Did you listen to anything on the way over here?
I did actually. I had it on. I had my Spotify on shuffle, and I hadn't heard this song in a while, so it caught me off guard. It's a Cash Doll featuring
Detroit's own,
featuring Summer Walker, and it's called No Lames.
Okay,
and I forgot how much the very beginning of the song makes me laugh.
Okay.
Because the song is basically like, it's like Summer Walker singing like, really, really wish that I could trust you. Girls don't kick it with no lames. Like it's like it's an encouraging song for girls to get away from lame dudes.
That makes sense.
And at the very beginning of the song, Cash Doll is like, sis, he got you stressing. I got all my edges.
Yeah.
You about to block your blessings. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, in a regular conversation, that would be so rude to be like, sis, your boyfriend is really messing with you. You need to get away from him. I mean, I got all of my edges.
Yeah.
Like, wait. Why did you just decide to start bragging right now?
That's true.
Are you trying to make me feel better? Are you trying to encourage me, or are you? Because what is that implying?
Yo, man's got no good shit going on. But if you want to see somebody with some good shit going on, look at what I got right around here. Look at this part of my head. If you want to see something beautiful, your shit ugly over there, but my shit is actually laid in a really precious way, and that's actually gorgeous.
I mean, everything is like rhyming and like it's a good song, but
it sounds good.
But it's like sometimes I think about lyrics, especially when it's like lyrics that are like talking to someone. I always think about like, would this work in a regular conversation? And like, I don't think that I would be so confused on if my friend is trying to encourage me or not.
I'm trying to think about what the male version of that, like if I was going to do that, if you were with somebody and I was like, I really don't. I don't
fuck with your girlfriend, dog. But I mean, my fucking thighs to that leg day. Leg day has been fucking great for me. I ain't skipped not one this whole year.
My biceps looking really fantastic, but
yeah. But by the way, your girlfriend ain't shit.
She's a liar.
Yeah,
she's a liar. She's not telling the truth. But my skin's glowing right now. It's really, look at me.
But I feel like if a guy, I feel like if a guy's friend doesn't like a girlfriend, it really doesn't matter as much as a woman disliking.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I have friends right now who have significant others that I do not care for in the slightest, and it's not influenced anything around their relationship on any level.
I think most guys are like, yeah, I don't care.
They're just sort of like, I don't know. She's over
You guys
there.
don't ever have to be around each other.
That's the thing,
like,
too.
Whereas like a woman is like, oh, if my friend doesn't like you, I'm gonna sit with that for a second.
Yeah, and it'll
Are we generalizing?
You are. You're generalizing. I'm being,
I mean, that's straight people's business, not mine.
Do you think? What do you think?
A lot of women in rap, a lot of R&B is like straight people's business.
That's true.
Because R&B is very straight.
That is very, very true.
It's only really gotten gay recently.
Yeah, recently I feel like you've got some gay R&B guys. Who are the gay R&B guys you're rocking with? Well, I guess we're going to get into that as well.
Oh, no, I didn't pick him, but I like Destin Conrad.
I do like him. I like some of his stuff. He opened for Kehlani. I went to go see Kehlani.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
He opened for Kehlani.
Saw her on the train not long ago.
Really?
She randomly.
Huh. Did you say what's up?
I thought it'd be best.
You kind of left it alone. That's nice.
I don't like bothering people.
I also feel like I feel like we've been around enough like people like that it's not really. You don't really feel the need to.
Like
also,
I nod and I'm like, yeah, hey.
Also, I just feel like working at SNL, I feel like you have so many celebrity interactions that go weird in a way that like I certainly have. I've done.
Well, you would be around them more than I would have.
You definitely.
Well, at the SNL after party, one of them, I had a really good interaction with Steve Lacy.
Oh yeah, he was cool.
He was nice.
Yeah.
I forget which 2 songs he did, but then there was one off of the Mercury album that I was like, oh, Mercury. And I was like, you know, Real Ones really, really appreciate you had done that song. And he was like, oh, you listened. I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, I get why he chose those songs because they're like, I guess.
you gotta
like,
do the big.
singles.
You gotta
do the big songs. But I'm like, you know, do the ones that didn't go viral on TikTok too.
That's fair.
That's I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, do the kind of deep cut song.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're one of my big R&B head friends, I feel like. I feel like you're really big into you're really in your R&B bag. And
it's like even if I'm in a relationship, I always want to be in my feelings.
Yeah.
Even if I'm happy, I'm like, but I want to hear some sad shit right now.
Don't you do you feel like the state of R&B generally, like I do feel like it feels like there's not as many lovers as there used to be.
I don't believe that.
I feel like the vibe is not as like
you got like Lucky Day and Destin Conrad's a lover, and you talking about male R&B, or
I think
because I think the girls are singing about feelings and love and stuff like that, and so are the guys.
I feel like they are talking about love, but I feel like it's so much of it is from the standpoint of like something bad happened when I fell in love.
That's a lot of R&B though. That's not just like.
I guess it's
true.
always
kind of been that way.
I guess it's always.
This is the thing. Everybody is there's this conversation about like 90s.
What's the conversation?
It's the conversation that is like, I hate nostalgia. Like, I really hate how much people love the 90s. It's starting to get corny.
Because it's,
Can we really talk about that? I'm like...
Yeah, we can talk about it, Alex. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay?
Go ahead and talk about
Everybody was talking about love and passion and Jodeci this and Bobby Brown. And that served its purpose in that time. But I feel like people cling to 90s R&B so... Nothing will make me leave a party like hearing... 90s R&B sometimes. So, because I feel like it's overdone.
And this is happening at parties to you a lot.
I mean, if you go to certain like black, events, people get real like, oh, let's put on that Black Street. I'm like, oh God, do we have to do the? Don't leave. Okay, I get it. I get it. But we have music. That's the thing. People cling to nostalgia so much that they can't really appreciate what's actually happening. Like there's people are saying things like, oh, R&B is like toxic now. When has R&B not been toxic? There's been SWV. Was constantly singing about sleeping with somebody else's boyfriend. So it really, and it's not to say, it's not taking anything away from SWV, but
SWV was also saying
R&B has been toxic for a very long time. It didn't start with like this generation of singers. And I'm really sick of that being like the narrative that's painted.
Okay. I'm not gonna fight you on that.
I've heard it a lot. I mean, you asked it, you're like, oh, they're not singing about the same thing. I'm like, I think they are.
I'm not gonna fight you on it, but I do disagree. But we gotta move on to do
it. But the 90s, it's just an obsession with the 90s that I'm just like,
90s R&B was doing a different thing. You know what I feel like? It's less than being like in love and talking about love and feelings. I feel like the 90s had a yearning to it. There was a yearning like, I can't go to sleep because I love you so much and I miss you.
Yeah, but it's like, damn, go to sleep though. Like, this behavior is that feels like you have a problem with your sleeping. You know what I mean? Like, I love, I've been in love before, but not to the point where I can't sleep.
You can't go to bed.
Crazy.
But that's what I'm saying.
To be obsessed with someone, to be that obsessed with someone, that's a little crazy.
Okay, you Brent Faiyaz pilled. That's what that is. You Brent Faiyaz. See, you got the Brent Faiyaz sort of mentality.
What is that mentality?
Where he's like, I'm going straight to sleep. I love you a little bit, but I'm going to bed.
Hey, that's a human being.
Okay.
Yeah, I love you, but I gotta go do me for a second. I
love you, but I'm gonna need my 8 hours.
I gotta put me.
That's
first.
gonna be important for me.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
All right. Well, let's get into the person that you came to talk about. You wanted to talk about Frank Ocean. What does Frank Ocean mean to you?
Well, first of all, I feel like me picking Frank is like, first of all, I acknowledge, I think, how basic it is. And that's not me calling Frank Ocean basic. That's me. That's calling me basic because...
Yeah, I'd like to call him that as well. Just for everybody listening, I'd like to call Alex that as well.
Homophobia on his first episode of his podcast. Again.
Not me. I'm not homophobic. I was going to go to Virginia and play 2K with that elderly man. I was going to do that.
So Frank, like, I feel like he's, at this point, a conversation around him is ad nauseum because there's so much to be said about Frank Ocean that probably has already been said, number one. So I acknowledge that entering into this conversation. So when it comes to Frank, I have been a big fan of his since way like SoundCloud. I don't even know if he was on SoundCloud. I forget where like I first picked up his.
Alex loves
music.
to let people know that he was one of the earliest
I
Frank Ocean
absolutely
fans.
am genuinely one of the first like batch. I can
First
say
generation.
I'm like in the first. I want to say like 500 of his fans.
And
I do believe that because
just out of curiosity, how are you calculating that?
Because I just am like,
Just so I know.
I used to see his numbers like on the little like the blogs and like and I would see how many people were listening to SoundCloud and stuff.
You're doing data analytics.
I mean, it wasn't like, and he would even recognize that he wasn't like it
really
wasn't popping yet.
Yeah.
But it was like the Lonnie Bro mixtape. I'm like, people still don't know what that mixtape is.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You can't find
I mean?
that one.
Well, you actually can.
Oh.
It's on Spotify, but it's somebody else singing all of the songs.
Oh.
And they sound crazy.
In a good way?
No.
Oh.
It's actually jarring and kind of scary and ominous. It kind of feels like somebody AI'd it.
Oh no.
And I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. But look it up. I'm telling you, it will startle you. It will give you nightmares the way this person is singing.
Uh-huh.
Because it uses the album art and everything. But the dude he sounds literally, he's just belting
in
an insane way. Yeah.
I will say this, just while we're on the topic of vocality, and vocal ability. I will say maybe no one in my life has more opinions on who can sing and who can't sing. And you had a birthday not too long ago, and I came out for your birthday, and you had a karaoke birthday. And Alex, I'm just gonna.
I didn't have a karaoke birthday. Karaoke was at the place where let's be clear.
I think you could maybe say that means the same thing. I think you could maybe say that.
I would think you could
maybe say that there's not that much difference between the two of those things.
And I didn't know. I didn't expect to be doing karaoke at my birthday. Somebody else. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was to say a lot of opinions about who can sing.
Go ahead and insult me. Hold for insult.
Yeah,
I'm ready for my
you can't
insult.
sing, man. You can't sing. And I love you. I love you. You have a lot of good qualities.
Okay.
You were on That Damn Michael Che on HBO. You have a lot of good qualities, but you're not a vocalist.
But just because someone doesn't identify as a vocalist, that doesn't mean they can't have opinion on who can sing.
It feels there's some irony there.
There are people out there who don't do comedy, but they're like, oh, Devon Walker not funny.
Yeah, and I don't like those people. Those people are bad. They're bad guys.
Now, their opinion is arguable, but no.
No, it's
So I'm just saying, we all have ears to hear. Not all of us, but a lot of us.
The amount of, and I won't put you on blast, but the amount of R&B girls whose concerts you've gone to and you've been like, that mic wasn't on, no. That mic wasn't on. They wasn't really singing.
No, the mic was on, and they can't sing into it. I can say that. I ain't gonna call out people because that's not what this platform is about.
We're not doing that.
But yeah, some concerts I'm just like, yep, won't pay for that again.
Yeah,
and I don't, and I stand, but I'll still enjoy the music because I recognize that some people they sound better in the studio, and we can apply that to whatever
whoever that's about.
Whatever. No, we can have whatever theory that it is about why they sound good on the album. I can enjoy music and then separate, who I would go see live. I can tell you who I would go see live again that I've recently seen.
Who's that?
Destin, I go see Destin. Jasmine Sullivan, I'd see live.
She's singing.
Who's singing? Summer Walker, and she's dancing too now, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Yes.
You went to go see. I remember when we were roommates. You went to go see a Summer Walker show.
I've seen everyone that she's done in New York so far.
And I remember you getting tickets and dancing around the apartment. You were so excited.
I was so happy because she can sing.
Yeah, she's a
and
singer.
People complaining about her not, being nervous and sitting down. I'm like, I don't need singers to be dancing all the time. I'm not mad at it if they can do both.
It depends.
But I need if singing, because singing can prohibit, not prohibit. It can.
Because you're trying to breathe.
It can keep
you're
you
trying
from,
to breathe.
Listen,
and
everybody
dance
can't be Beyonce, dog.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just sit your ass down and sing that song.
Sometimes.
I'll vibe out with you. I'm good.
I went to. You've seen James Blake perform.
Yes.
And I feel like that is an artist that if he were also dancing, it would feel really wrong.
But you look at him, because you look at him. I mean, James Blake that's a lanky
he's
man.
Like a 6'6"
slender man. Like man is tall. Yeah,
so
he sit your ass down at that piano. Sit at that piano, please.
Go and play some lights.
Yeah, James Blake. God really was like, watch this when he made his vocal cords. He was like, I'm about to fuck y'all up. I'm like, that white boy can sing.
He be singing.
I'll go to. I've been to how many shows with him now? 4. In the last 2 years since he's great.
Anyway, so
and underrated also.
He's great. I really like him a lot.
But this is very similar to Frank though too. So it's like
back to Frank.
Yeah. I just feel like I feel it's like I don't have a parasocial relationship with celebrities ever at all. But I think when it comes to Frank, there is a familiarity to his work that I have that I'm like, oh, I rock, with you in a way that I feel like you know me. But you don't. But I don't obviously know you. We had one Twitter interaction long ago.
What was that?
I forget. All I know is that he tweeted something and I retweeted. This is back when you put it on top of the tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you had to RT. You had to write RT. It was way early Twitter, back when he had it. I tweeted a joke off of his joke, and then he retweeted me and said LOL. So he did laugh at something that I said. He'll never remember this, but he did laugh at something that I said on Twitter once.
Okay.
So we have that. At that moment, he acknowledged, my existence.
When Frank Ocean does his podcast one day, I'll talk to him about that moment and see if he remembers
He'll never remember it.
No, he's also not going to do the podcast.
He's also not going to do the podcast.
He's not gonna.
So that's,
Can you imagine Frank Ocean with a podcast mic in front of him?
He's been on. He has his own thing too.
He has like a
radio show.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah.
To get into some lyrics.
Okay.
We have a couple Frank Ocean lyrics. Frank was tougher. This was tougher. We tried to dig through because Frank's songs are they're so sort of poetic.
Complex.
They're so complex.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little the lyrics are a little, obscure where it's hard to know exactly what he's saying. So to find funny Frank Ocean lyrics, we had to do a little bit of digging. We've got from the song Nikes. He says, "We only human, and it's humid in these Balmains. I mean, my balls sticking to my jeans."
He has his moments of crassness.
Yeah. Have you ever? Does that line resonate with you in any way?
I mean, I think it resonates with every man that's ever, and every man that's ever existed that has gone commando. He said balls sticking to my jeans, correct?
He said his balls are sticking to his jeans. Have you ever put Balmains on? You ever got those jeans?
I don't believe I've ever had a pair of those on, no.
Okay.
So I can't, he can afford that type of life.
But but your balls sticking to your jeans is sort of something
that's relatable.
That feels relatable to you.
If that's what he's going for, then yeah.
This is yet another way in which you and Frank are sort of aligned.
Hey.
You're putting the jeans on, kind of nothing else.
But I even think more so aligned than it's such an out there line. It's not just my balls are sticking to my jeans. It speaks to he can do both things. He can be poetic and obscure, like you said, and then also just straight up just say something like my balls are sticking to my jeans, which I relate to. I'm eloquent and a little out there as well. Everything doesn't have to be so so artistic, And that's what I appreciate. Sometimes he deviates from but he'll come right back. You know what I mean? He'll deviate, say something a little while, and then come right back. I appreciate it.
Do you have a favorite Frank song?
Well, my favorite Frank song, I'd have to say, man, I really.
You love Channel Orange. You're a big.
I think Channel Orange, is his best work that he's done so far. And I like a lot of his music, but I'm like, Channel Orange is because it felt this was him introducing to the world who he is that didn't know him during Nostalgia Ultra was I'm about to fuck y'all up. But why? But while I'm in the process of fucking y'all up with this amazing Grammy Award winning project, here's something else. Because Nostalgia Ultra doesn't nearly get enough credit, I think, for his, I might even argue that Nostalgia Ultra is my favorite project of his. Because Songs for Women, it might be my best. To me, that might be my favorite song of his.
That was sort of that was also that was straight Frank.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I'd say it was that. Here's my thing.
What's your thing, would you say?
That's why I know I'm a day one for real.
Oh yeah, go ahead and expound on that.
Because anybody who was having that conversation about him being wait, he's talking about boys? You should have known that already. That's what I'm saying. There were hints of it in Lonnie Bro. There were hints of it in Nostalgia Ultra. He's always been kind of being like, boy. Like, he's always kind of like
I'm sorry?
Like,
what is he being like? Wait a second. Hold on, Alex. Just for the people.
Let me say it.
Yeah,
and thinking about you.
Yes.
Thinking about you.
Yes.
The riffs he's doing is like, but boy. Like, he's saying boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying boy. So people are like, but see, you got to be outright.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? With people, because like, but that tells me people weren't listening to his work before Channel Orange.
People was not in the bag in the same way.
Because he always kind of has had this melody towards. Like, I've always felt that I was like, oh, this guy, I think this guy's gay. And then I mean, and then songs for women to me was more like, oh, he's doing this to get more women listening and all that stuff. And I get that.
He's trying to bring them in.
I get that, and I think even too, like, by the time Channel Orange came out, then, we started hearing about, oh, he's bisexual. And I'm like, oh, okay, we know what that means. Yeah. So it's like, and it's no shade.
Not the bi-erasure on the podcast episode.
It's no shade.
Original episode.
I don't know him to be dating
Alex
any women
English
ever. But like,
on the record.
It's all good. I'm not erasing. If anything, he is really bi, because I say he is the voice of, like, he is the music for bisexual people. Like, his music can apply to both genders. It can apply to everybody, like, or all genders, not both. Look at me. All genders. It is very universal. So, because also of the production. He chooses really good production. It's very ethereal. It's very, it's very like, you've worn the same T-shirt 2 days straight and you're like, the sun is out. The sun is beaming through your window. You're kind of just chilling. You're not high, but you're kind of hazy and you're just vibing. Or you're like, you're in the car. A lot of his music is like, you're in the car, top down. Golden hour, like, you're just chilling, or at night. You can even be top down at night. You're
listening to biking, maybe.
Listening to biking. I feel like, biking really isn't my vibe.
Oh, I
honestly.
really like it. I'm biking, he's blind.
I love Tyler's verse on it.
Yeah, that's nice.
But In My Room kind of has that feeling. That's one of my favorite songs of his, because it's kind of just like, you're like recounting an experience with somebody, and it was like, in my room is a mess, and like, I like that. He's messy.
Yes,
he's messy. If I get anything from like his music, is that a lot of his lyrics, he's a mess. He's kind of like his brain is all over the place, which is I've always identified.
It's relatable. There's a Frank line that specifically reminds me of you. Where he says, it's from Chanel, where he says, "I don't like to fight till I'm fighting."
Oh.
That really is.
Wow, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Devin.
That really embodies Alex to me.
Okay, why does that remind you of me? I feel like I know, but
because I think you are a person who like you don't necessarily like conflict, but like if it's there, you're not running from it, you're not ducking it on any type of level.
I don't duck no phase.
No, you really don't.
Come at me crazy, I'm gonna come at you crazy.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
I'm at your crazy.
There's a moment where you're like, you don't want nothing with nobody, but as soon as it starts up, you're there. Do you remember that time we were on the train and a guy bumped into you on the train?
I do.
Do you remember this? A dude just on the train, he had like a backpack or like a duffel bag or something like that, and it must have hit Alex's arm.
It did hit me.
It hit Alex
in a way where you should have said, "Excuse me."
And the guy didn't say anything. He probably didn't even know the bag that hit Alex. When I tell you the entire time that we were on this train ride, Alex was sitting, staring at this man, looking at him like.
Because I'm giving him a minute to be like.
For 5 stops. Alex he stopped. We were probably talking about something important. I could have been telling him about something that happened in my childhood. Alex was truly the entire time just looking at this man like.
Like, is there something that you want to say to me?
That's why that bar reminds me of Alex.
I like that. Yeah. I forgot about. Yeah, Chanel.
My guy's pretty like a girl.
Yeah, I do like this song because this
is, maybe the most bisexual anthem.
Yeah,
because he sees both sides, like Chanel.
But you can also, from that lyric, you can.
This is one side and this is the other side. He sees both of them.
That lyric was very revealing to his type, I think. I think he told us what he likes. He likes
pretty boys.
He likes really pretty men. And that's relatable.
Sure.
Who doesn't?
Would you say that's your type?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be.
You've had a lot of types since I've known you.
And what would you say that is?
You've had quite a few. I don't know if you want me to get into this on air, but
I mean, in relation to Frank, is there anything that you would you say what you're saying
about your types?
I'm not scared.
And
yeah,
you're not scared.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't say you're scared?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, since you're not scared,
Put my business out there.
Okay. Well, that's if you're inviting it. So Alex, honestly, Alex and I have known each other for a very long time. I think originally, his type when me and Alex was really in the mud together. Now, Alex has been on HBO, SNL. He's been.
They heard it. They heard it.
He's been on that damn Michael Che on HBO. He's been on that and also Pause with Sam J, as well as he's written all kinds of stuff on SNL, et cetera, et cetera. He's doing good. We're both doing better now. We used to be doing.
Oh my God! Just tell them.
We used to be doing worse. All right, and during that period of time, I feel like you would show me. You'd be like, "I'm about to go hook up with this guy," and you would show me.
Don't make me sound like some whore.
I didn't make you sound like that. I can't. We were living in different times. I'll say that. And you would be like, I'm about to go hook up with this guy. And then you would show me an image and you just showed me a picture of just like a big man's back. It was just like a black man's back. And that was it. I was like, are there any more photos? You were like, nah, that's all I need. And that's what Alex used to be like. That's what Alex used to be like. And then I'll just say Alex started making some money. Alex started doing a little bit better. And now it's not just, and now let's just say there's been a shift.
And what's the shift?
There's been a shift.
What's the shift?
Alex got money and turned his back on the black community.
Oh that's not true. That's not true.
Alex said no more.
It's not true.
Alex said it's just Puerto Ricans for me now.
It's categorically untrue.
Okay. All right. Well, it's, we don't have a third person.
We don't need a third person.
We do need a third person.
Because the truth is the truth.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And not what you speak.
All right. Okay.
But yes, in relationship to Frank Ocean, I think we have a very similar taste in people.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see y'all having some overlap.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here soon, but one thing that I do want to start talking to people about is what did your Spotify Wrapped look like for the last year? And I'll talk about mine as well.
Well, from what they told me,
from what they told you.
I mean, they called me. I mean, you listen to the little AI thing tell you, how your year sounded.
Yes.
And they told me I was kind of all over the place this year.
Okay, what kind of stuff were you listening to?
Well, do you want the list or do you want like what kind of stuff, like genre?
Let's go top 5 artists.
Yeah, so my vibe was like during like January you sing R&B. During the summer you was doing a lot of pop.
Mm-hmm.
And like then there was like some alternative music going on.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like it's just like in shifts. It's like whatever I want to keep. There's also some songs on here that's been in my top songs for the past like 3 years. Sometimes I just keep things on repeat.
If you remember correctly, Alex, I did ask for your top 5 artists.
You did? Oh well, let me see. What did it say? Yeah. Top artist was number 1 was Destin Conrad.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not gonna know who this. I don't think you're gonna know. Number 2 is this group called Bathe, B-A-T-H. I think it's Bathe.
Okay.
B-A-T-H-E. Mm-hmm. Number 3 was Bryson Tiller. Mm. Number 4 was SZA.
Okay.
And number 5, Amin.
Oh,
Burhana. Yeah.
Friend of the podcast.
He'll be on here one day, I'm sure.
Amin will absolutely be on the podcast. Y'all go check Burhana out if you haven't listened to him. Really, really good R&B artist. Like definitely great album.
His last album, I'm like, I was like cleaning the house to that album a lot.
That song, here's a song called Break Bread
that was what did it, I think, because I just kept listening to that song.
I don't break bread with just anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
And this show is fun too live. It's fun to see him live.
Do you feel like those top 5 artists, do you feel like that's like representative of like what you were actually listening to?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll talk to people and they'll be like, well, how did I end up with X person?
This is the thing. People get I've been talking about this with people.
Okay.
In general.
Yeah.
People get so mad at the algorithm, like their For You page, their top 5. Like, no, they're mad at it because it's telling the truth. The truth is harsh. People don't like it.
This is who they really are.
This is who you are.
It shows you who you really are.
So if your For You
page
page is a bunch of butts and like hair stuff and reality TV trash and shade room articles, that's who you are. So stop running from the algorithm. I'm sorry. So if Spotify says that you spent all your time listening to young hashtag nudie wop, that was your dude.
That's crazy. That's the
Whoever
most,
the
that's the most,
I'm sure that's somebody.
The most 70-year-old.
Because these names is crazy.
Young hashtag nudie wop. That's an artist that you're familiar with.
You have asked
like,
me about certain artists where I'm just like, how did they come up with that name?
Okay, and it's in hashtag nudie wop. That's the type of names I'm saying.
Like young boy, drop that thing tomorrow. Like
that's
what?
Crazy. Alex.
Why are name sentences?
Alex is 70
Why are
years
name
old.
sentences? Can't nobody come up with a single name anymore?
Moving on.
I want a Sade. What's up?
Yes, that's true.
There's names out there.
Drake.
We're not gonna talk about him.
Okay. I will. Okay, we gotta get out of here. One last thing.
Yeah.
I've got a recommendation from a potential listener. I asked for people on my Instagram to submit, some lyrics that they thought were especially fun.
Okay.
And this one really stuck with me. It's Justin Timberlake in the song "Rock Your Body." There's a part where he says, "The air is thick, and it's smelling right," which really struck me because it's like, well, we've been in a lot of situations where the air is thick and like it ain't smelling right. That situation ain't never smell right. When the air really thick, when you in one of those clubs where they don't even got a liquor license, they don't got no type of license. It's just like wine coolers in there. The air is real thick and it smells like the inside of a Timberland boot. It's not smelling right in there.
I think
you've been at some thick parties, I'm sure.
I think that if Justin Timberlake wrote that lyric, then he had to have been in the same state of mind as he was when he got arrested. There was
something else involved.
There has to be drugs involved.
There was another.
If that's how you're describing a place,
a thick
air, and what else?
The air's thick and it's smelling right.
Smelling right, yeah.
Because no, it's not, Justin.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Not in the context of that song.
It ain't never smelling right. No good smell is thick.
No good smell is thick.
Any smell that's thick is something you got to get out of that room.
No good smell is thick.
It's never been that.
Yeah. Huh.
Alex English, you're one of the first guests on the podcast. Thank you so much
for being here.
This
is episode 1.
Well, but I don't know. We might move it around.
This is episode 1.
It might not be.
I'm saying it. I kept mentioning it in that podcast. Now you have to because I keep saying
we can edit that out.
I keep saying this is the first episode.
We can take that stuff out, right? We can get.
I'm the premier. See, I've been saying it so much.
We could probably take it out.
I've made myself this. I knew what I was doing.
We got good technology.
I knew what I was doing.
We got AI technology. We could probably take his voice and make it sound like
I knew what I was doing. I'm like, just keep saying it,
5 or something like that,
and it'll happen. That's how life works. You keep saying stuff, and it will happen. Just keep saying stuff.
The power of manifestation. Alex English.
It works every time.
Thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate
course.
you.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Go listen to some Frank Ocean.
Go listen to some Frank Ocean. He got some good stuff. He sees both sides, just like Chanel.
Whatever that means.
Bisexual. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. My Favorite Lyrics is a production by Disco Nap. If you guys like what you hear, leave a review and tell a homie about the show. And make sure to follow us at My Favorite Lyrics Pod on all social platforms, except for Twitter. We offer that. You can learn more about this week's guest and the My Favorite Lyrics team by checking out the show's notes. And thank you to the guys that made this show happen. Our executive producer, Lauren Mandel, our associate producer, Carmen Kerrigan, Chris Mueller, who engineered and edited the episode, and Jacob Derwin, and the whole crew at Technica House. Shout out to y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.